My name is Nikki Kenny, and the book for this center is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day by Judith Viorst. This center was designed for medium-level learners. The activity in this center consists of students creating a flow map of sequence of events that happen throughout the story. The students will be required to have a minimum of 3 events, one that happened in the beginning, one that happened in the middle, and then one that happened at the end. For example, if students were to choose an event that happened in the beginning, on the first page it talks about Alexander went to bed with gum in his mouth, so he woke up with gum in his hair. That would be an event that happened at the beginning of the story, in the beginning of his day, because he woke up. In the middle, there's an excerpt, a section of Alexander talking about how he is no longer best friends with Paul and Philip anymore, that, he's his third best friend. So that kind of added to him having a bad day, and that was in the middle of his day. And then the event towards the end, there's a couple different choices. He can talk about, the after school experience where Alexander went to the shoe store and they didn't have his color shoes anymore. Or, when he went to bed at night, the cat didn't want to sleep with him. Just anything at the end of the story, at the end of Alexander's day, to describe what kind of the sequence of events that happened throughout Alexander's day. The standard for this center is going to be the 4th grade standard that says, refer to details and examples in a text when explaining what the text says explicitly and when drawing inferences from the text. Because I'm requiring students to take directly an event that directly happened in the book, that's how this meets that standard, because they are explaining what the text says explicitly. In the very beginning, he had gum in his hair, so that's an event that happened directly from the book. The rationale for choosing this, for designing this center, I wanted to choose a thinking map that was beneficial for sequencing. When I was looking on the District 219, I think it was for Park Meadows, but the people who actually created it was District 219 Niles Township High School. They created definitions and examples of thinking maps. They said a flow map is used for sequencing. It's used for any process that can be described by steps. Well, step 1, he woke up. Step 2, Paul and Philip wasn't his best friend anymore. I'd also mentioned that thinking maps give students, like a student-teacher, common language for meaningful learning. Students are able to directly say to the teacher, okay, this is what happened in the beginning of the story, by writing it on their flow map. The rubric for this activity has 4 criteria. The first is student knowledge. The student knowledge is, okay, did the student have 3 events that happened? And did they put them in proper sequencing order? You don't want the student to say, okay, well, at the end of the day, he said he doesn't like lima beans, but that's his very first one. He doesn't like lima beans, or, he didn't like his shoes, and that was the first event that happened. And the student needs some reteach on that, and that's their knowledge. The student presentation, was their map easy to read? Did it have a first, a middle, and an end to it? So it was easy for me to read the map and know that this is the first event, this is the second event, and this is the third event that happened to Alexander. Organization, was the student accurately able to state what happened at the beginning, what happened at the end of the story. And then, the spelling and grammar is the 4th criteria. That's always important. Did the student spell the words correctly? Did they, use proper grammar when they were trying to describe the events that happened in Alexander's day?